It's time for another update video on my Doberman pup Arlo. He's 6 months old, and take a look at how fast this dog's been growing. Now, the reason why I like to mix in some of these update videos on Arlo's progress here with some of my other videos about the Doberman breed as a whole is simply to give you guys a good example of how one dog at least is progressing from puppyhood all the way through adulthood. So let's jump straight into this video and talk about Arlo's wins and his struggles now that he's 6 months old. Now, the last update I gave you was a 15-week update, and certainly a lot of things have changed now that he's 6 months. The first thing I want to talk about is socialization, and I'm going to rate him as kind of behind schedule on this still. I rated him as behind schedule in the 15-month video as well. And the reason for this, unfortunately, is because of that shelter-in-place order we had for so long during his puppy time here. After getting him from the breeder, that really set him back quite a bit. But things have opened up now. We're taking him to the dog park a lot more often. He's doing really well at the dog park. He runs and plays with other dogs, has a good time. He meets and greets them. The one part he's struggling with in the dog park is kind of how to approach other dogs. He approaches them in kind of a juvenile way that does set off some dogs and kind of makes them a little standoffish, at least initially. Once they get over that first hurdle of the introduction, Arlo does really, really well at the dog park. So we're still working on that stuff. Other than that, we've definitely socialized him with people a little bit more. We had our first big family gathering where we brought Arlo with some extended family, which was great, something we hadn't done in a long time. And there were kids there running and playing and screaming, playing games, and Arlo did great. He was like running and playing with them. There was no nipping, there was no bumping into them. He did really well. He would go crazy sometimes and have fun with the kids and give them a show, and then other times he would relax and hang out with everybody and calm down. So he did really great at the first family gathering. I was super proud of him. One thing I didn't expect was he had a little bit of a hard time on the car ride. He's not used to riding in a car. We've been going to and from the dog park a little bit, but that's a short trip right in town. The trip to see family, we went on the freeway, and as soon as we got on the freeway, he started kind of stressing out a little bit, trying to climb up in our laps, and it made for a really interesting trip on the freeway, that's for sure. So officially, let me just throw this out there. My 3 things to watch out for during the pandemic with your puppy is 1, of course, lack of socialization, because that's really hard to do when you're sheltering them in place. Number 2 is increased separation anxiety, because they get so used to having you at home with them. And number 3 is it could set you back with their anxiety levels during car rides. Now, the next update to give you is how crate training is going at night, and I'm going to say he's definitely on schedule there. He's doing really well. Our evening routine is this. When it's time to go to bed, I walk out with him. I make him go out through the dog door himself. And we go out to the backyard, I give him the potty command, and I wash just to make sure he actually does go to the bathroom and that he is all emptied out before he's stuck in his crate all night. Then we go upstairs, we kind of brush our teeth and get ready for bed, and he's kind of just walking around with us and hanging out. And then I tell him to go into his crate, and he goes in, no problem, all on his own. I close the door. He does really well, stays in there all night till morning. I let him out in the morning. First thing we do is run downstairs. I have him go out through the dog door himself to get him used to it. And he goes out and he knows to go to the bathroom right away. It's a routine we developed, and he's doing really, really well at it. In the entire time that we've been crate training, since we got him from 8 weeks old till now at 6 months old, he's only had 1 accident in his crate. And you know whose fault that was? This guy's right here. It was my fault. I brought him outside. He didn't go to the bathroom this night. I was pretty sure he had been in and out quite a bit before I was ready to take him upstairs, and I was thinking that maybe he wasn't going because he had just gone. So I decided just to bring him upstairs. I assumed that I didn't see when he had actually gone to the bathroom, and actually he did have an accident that night. 1 night in the entire time that we've had him has he had an accident in his crate. And it was right after we had just increased the size of the interior of the crate a little bit, so that might be part of it as well. We have a huge crate for him, and we've actually taken the partition out completely because he's doing so good. And if you don't know, as a dog grows, you want the partition to kind of grow with them. You don't want it too small or too big. Too small, they're uncomfortable. Too big, they're encouraged to go to the bathroom in their bed at night. So we actually have the partition out completely, and it's a big crate. It's a 48-inch crate. So yeah, he's fine in there. The next step will be to move him to a separate bed inside the room where he's just completely outside of the crate and he's just trusted in the room. So we'll be progressing to that at some time fairly shortly. All right, so the next update I have for you is how the potty training is going. And he's on schedule. And I'm actually really excited about him just being on schedule right now, because on the 15-week update video I had for you, I had him as behind schedule. But I think we've really made up for some lost ground. He hasn't had a accident in the house since, it's been a long time, probably at least since that video, that 15-week video. I don't think he's had an accident in the house since then, which has been really good. I still get a little nervous when he suddenly jumps up and goes wandering off into another room in the house. And sometimes I do follow him to watch what he's doing. But so far, nothing's happened, and he knows to put himself out through his own dog door when he has to go. Now, we have a pen wrapped around the dog door, which has been really helpful because it helps us regulate if he has access just that little portion inside the house where his bed is in that pen, or if we leave that door open, he can go inside the whole house. But no matter what, he'll always have access to the backyard. So that's been really helpful for us. He knows to go in the pen and then out when he has to go to the bathroom. But I have a toddler, you know, and young kids at home. So when they have a toy out or a lot of chokeable pieces out, or they're playing with something where he could get into something that could hurt him, I put him in that little pen, close the pen door, and he still has the inside to hang out with us if he wants, nice air conditioning and whatever, and his nice fluffy bed. And he also can go in the backyard and play around too. So it's been great to have that just to help us with daily life. But he's been doing really well, and I think the setup we have going for him is one of the easiest kind of low maintenance ways to go about it. Now, next update I have for you is how he's doing with his commands. And I'm definitely going to put him as ahead of schedule in his understanding of the commands we've been teaching him, which is just really cool. It makes just daily life with him just so much more fun. He really has a good handle on a lot of the stuff from the 15-week update video I told you about, but we've been reinforcing a lot of it. We've been really focusing and doubling down on reinforcing it, because he had the basic understanding of a lot of it early on, but it was really sloppy. So we're working on it. He does know a few new commands. So like he knows sit, and he knew this at 15 weeks, but now he can consistently sit back up from a laying down command. So if we give him sit and then lay down and ask him to sit again, he'll go back to sitting. This is really tough for dogs to do. So he's got that down. He also has stay, come, down, shake. Now he knows to shake with the other paw. If I say other paw, he knows the go potty command, no, his release command, off, out. And we're even working on the command gentle, which is something we use around kids a lot. When we use the word gentle, he knows that we're hovering over him, and he's got to really kind of keep his space, especially from our little young one, our baby. And he's been really getting a handle of what that means too. But I think going forward, we're definitely going to continue to reinforce these, but we're also going to start expanding his kind of repertoire of the commands that he understands, because that's important too. You got to keep him challenged, but he's doing really well, and I'm always blown away by how smart Dobermans are with their understanding of commands and just vocabulary in general. Now, the next update I have for you is how Arlo is doing with kids, and I'm going to say he's definitely on schedule there. On the last update, I told you he was ahead of schedule, and the reason why I dialed him back slightly on this update is because at 6 months old, you know, he's had a few instances where he's kind of bumped into my toddler lately and knocked him over. Not a big deal. It's not anything malicious, nothing he's doing on purpose. It's just he's having fun playing, and I honestly think it's just because he's a little bit bigger now, and he just bumps into my toddler sometimes when they're playing. Nothing that can't be handled. We can definitely handle that, and we can definitely work with him on that and be gentle around the kids. But they have a great time together. They play these games where they kind of chase each other around the corner, and they have another game where my son likes to climb underneath this trampoline in our house and give Arlo the OK command, the release command that we've chosen, and Arlo jumps right on top of the trampoline, and there's laughing and giggling, and it's a lot of fun. And Arlo is excellent in the fact that he knows when to calm things down. He's not always in my kid's face. He can walk away from time to time and kind of just let things relax. So I'm so proud of him when it comes to how he's doing with kids. There is one new unexpected behavior to tell you guys about, which is really strange, and I need to know if you've ever heard of this. I hadn't really heard of it before. So every night when we go to bed with him, you know, he does great in his crate training. He does great in his crate. He's pretty much quiet the whole night with one exception. When we put him in there at night, he does one loud bark that's kind of high pitched, like almost a yelp bark. It sounds like an attention type of bark, and then he just relaxes and goes to sleep. every single time. He doesn't show that he's got anxiety any other way or anything like that. Just one loud bark and then rest. It's kind of annoying when you got some toddlers sleeping in the next room, but it's really strange to me. I don't know why he does it. He does it pretty consistently now. And yeah, I can expect one loud bark when I put him in bed, and then he's good the whole night long. That's an unexpected behavior, and I'm actually just in the process of still kind of researching that and figuring out why that is and what we can do about it and really what it means. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed the 6-month update on Arlo. In the description below this video, I will definitely link to the other update videos on Arlo, the 15-week update video, and the update when we first got him brand new at 8 weeks and I first brought him home. Take a look at those, watch them in order if you want. You can really see his progress. It's really cool to see. Thank you so much for watching. Please drop a comment down below before you go anywhere and hit the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification icon so you don't miss my next video. And of course, me and Arlo will see you next time.